friends. Welcome to Genuinely Curious. I'm your host, Shantiana Keys, and today our guest is Jess Lucero, also known
Yep.
as Jess the Reporter online, but she's an entertainment reporter and creator. And I think I actually found you in your sports days. So you have a bit of crossover.
Stop.
Yes. And so
That's
I'm
crazy.
excited that you're here because, of course, here we cover pop culture and sports. But thanks for
Mhm.
joining me.
No, thank you for having me. I'm really excited. Also, your intro, everything sounds so good. Just so that you're aware, it sounds great on my end.
I'm glad to hear it. Again, I can't take any credit for it. I think we both know what we're doing, and so that's why it's probably working out for us so
Yeah,
far.
our 10,000 hours, they're paying off. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. What is that, Malcolm Gladwell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
Exactly.
Yeah, when you come from a sports background, you know it. It's one of those things that they always talk about. But,
Ingrained in
like
our brains.
yeah, for sure. What is your, like, sports background, I guess? Did you play sports? I know your family was into sports growing up.
Mhm.
What's your kinda connection to it?
So growing up, yeah, my family was very into sports. They didn't really know much about the arts. I feel like I'm still learning a lot about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Growing up, I played a lot of sports. I played basketball a little bit. I played softball. That was like my main sport. But I was always the fastest on the team. So I ran track and cross country, where some people might have viewed that as like them getting in trouble when they'd be told,
Me,
yeah,
those
yeah,
people.
everyone. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone hated running, but I loved it. And I don't know, I think I was just like happy to be good at something.
Nice.
Cause like my brother was 6 years older than me and he was going down the pipeline of becoming a pro baseball player. So I would see that and I'd be like, well, I'm not going to do that, especially as a woman. Like there
Yeah,
wasn't there weren't many options for softball players, you
right.
know? So ended up focusing on track and cross country and eventually just moved to the sidelines and started to cover it instead, which I enjoyed a lot more while I did it.
Yeah, I saw that. So you worked for Overtime, which again, I think that's where I initially was introduced to you,
Really?
but, LA Dodgers, Fox
Yeah.
Sports,
Hmm.
what what was that experience like kinda being on the sideline, like you said, going from being on the field to now being on the sideline, and then how do we get to entertainment after
Yeah, it's
that?
funny. The main goal was always entertainment.
Yeah,
I just like felt it within me. I think the same way that everyone always feels what they really want to do, you can't really put words to explain how you feel, but I just knew I always wanted to get to entertainment. I always wanted to be an actress, to be completely honest, but that one scared me and I felt like the next closest thing would be entertainment hosting. But when I got to college, I kept applying to all these internships, sports and entertainment. I couldn't hear back for any of the entertainment internships. And I was like equally passionate about both at the time. But I also realized that it would be a lot easier to go from sports into entertainment rather than going from entertainment into sports. People wouldn't really take you
yeah,
seriously, to be
yeah,
completely honest. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So I was able to get a couple of sports internships pretty quickly. I don't know if it was because people had a quota that they had to meet and they were like, we want to hire a girl.
Yeah,
I was definitely devoted. So I'm not going to like say that I wasn't a hard worker. But there was just a reason as to why sports doors were being opened a lot earlier than entertainment doors. You know, it's kind of interesting. But I will say,
I was gonna say I resonate with that so deeply. Like I've had that exact conversation with people for probably the last decade of
mhm,
I was like, well, I'm using basketball to leverage it and get reps and all those things, but I ultimately want to be in entertainment. And that's the end
really?
game. Yeah. So when I
Yeah,
heard you
yeah.
saying that when I was doing my research, I was like, I
Mhm.
resonate so deeply with that sentiment. But
Yeah,
let's
it's
dive in.
hard.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say especially well, no, I'm not gonna say especially as a woman because there's so many women in entertainment. In the way that I say there's a quota that these sports teams potentially have to meet, I'm not like there might be. They might not
Right.
necessarily even a quota, but it's just ingrained in their brain where they're like, well, it would be nice to hire a woman who has a different mindset than what the rest of us men, because you look in sports and it's still primarily old white men
Yep.
working in there.
Yep.
So I think a lot of them view it as like, well, this would be someone who has a potentially a different opinion or a different
Right.
mindset than we do, you know?
Yeah. Or just frankly, most of the time it's like superficial and it's like they look different than what we already have.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's do a little bit of this or that. Okay. I'm trying to get to know
Okay.
you. And I think a quick way to do that is kind of this or that about pop culture. So TikTok
Oh,
or Instagram.
TikTok for sure. I
Okay.
like that you, get to have I like that the algorithm actually works, and I'm going to TikTok and I'm knowing that I'm going to get fed stuff that I actually care about,
Yeah.
and then you go to Instagram and it's kinda like still a couple of people that you haven't unfollowed yet from high school, and they're just I don't necessarily need to see it anymore.
Right. Well, I separated mine. I did like my private one from when I was growing up is it's there. And
Yeah.
it was infuriating in the last week or so. Yeah. But then I made a public
For
one
real.
separately and that was it was the best thing for all of us.
That was so smart. I wanna do that really bad. I fear it might be too late at this point. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Cuz
"I
how long
don't
have you had your
know."
Instagram?
Since high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, it's too late.
Oh.
You're committed.
I'm
You might as well
locked
just
in now.
unfollow them.
Yeah, I have slowly began.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Wild, wild week. Okay, so well, you know what? I'm gonna chime in just that Instagram, I feel like people know me better there. I don't
No,
know
that's
if you
true.
feel that way. Where TikTok,
100%.
it may catch the algorithm here or there. You never know what side of the internet you're gonna end up on. But like on Instagram, my stories and all of that, like I feel like consistently I'm getting the same people responding to it and they kind of get my humor and get the vibe over here rather than like TikTok, it could be anybody.
Absolutely. I think that is
Yeah.
so true. I have the closest connection with Instagram,
Yeah.
and a lot of the time, even if it's people that I don't know that have, like, found me through my content, I still start to recognize their faces or their names, whereas on TikTok, that happens a lot less. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily connect with them as well, and, like, even if you make the effort to do that, it's still not as easy. I think there's just
Mhm.
so much content on TikTok that it gets drowned out?
Are you friends? Is it in the following? Is it on the
Yeah.
FYP? Like it's just a lot going on. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you prefer weekly drops or binge watching whole seasons?
Binge watch.
I
I'm for
know.
sure a binge watch kind of a girl.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad, but I've been doing that since college. Like, I can remember
Yeah.
going into my room and just being like, "You know what? I'm tired. I need to get away from
Yeah.
people, and One Tree Hill needs to be restarted." So
I'm like, I'm locked in once I start a show. I don't wanna
yeah.
have to wait for a whole week. I just watched Hunting Wives? I think is that what
Yes. Everybody I have not seen it yet, but
it's
everybody's very much
so
into it.
good. It
Yeah?
really is that good right now.
Okay.
But it's like I would say that's definitely a binging type of show. You wanna, sprint through that one.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something to appointment TV. Like, there
Mhm.
are some shows that I watch that are appointment TV, and I mean, even like The Summer I Turned Pretty, right? Like,
Mhm.
it is an event. And I wouldn't say that one because apparently people watch at, like, the wee hours of the morning,
Yeah. What is
which, like, I'm
wrong
never
with
gonna do that.
people? I'm
But,
never gonna be
like,
that girl.
right, never. But, like, Love Island, like, this was my 1st season.
Oh,
I
welcome.
loved How long have you been watching?
Since, 2020 for
Okay,
yeah, since the pandemic for sure. I think it was, Molly May and Tommy Fury's season.
okay.
Uh, I have not been able to stop ever since. It is so good.
I you would hear it in the background and
Mm.
of course, even if you don't watch the show, you're seeing all these names, you're like, "Oh, I know Love Island, okay, got it," right?
Yeah.
But this season, I don't know how I missed all this. Like, these are my people. Like, the pop culture conversation around this, I just don't know how I missed it before, but
Uh-huh.
absolutely love, like, everybody sitting down at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever it was, to watch the same thing, and then we're gonna get online and talk about it more.
No, wasn't that the best thing
It
ever?
and, like, in the summer months, like, I don't know, there's something about that.
It really was incredible this season. Last season, it was like the first year that people started getting into it. But for me, I was getting into the UK seasons back in
Okay.
2020. So I didn't have anyone to talk to. And I remember at first, all of my videos would flop whenever I would talk about Love Island UK because
Yeah.
the US audience hadn't gone over there yet. And then the time that it would air would be at I think maybe 12 p.m. PST. So no
Okay.
one could watch that. Honestly, we were all just working from bed. We probably could have watched it. They
Mm,
just didn't
mm.
know about it at the time.
I actually missed that, but I
I just said the same thing today.
I say it at least once a month. I'm like,
Yeah.
I really was thriving. I was having a great time working from home, working out when I wanted to work out. Like it just,
Mhm.
I
I
do.
miss it. It
I
was so
know.
nice having the little, like, FaceTime parties with your friends. Now we
Yes.
have to go out to see everyone.
I have a dinner after this. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, we must get into the Atlanta traffic. Let's do that.
oh, no.
Jeez. It's okay though. But okay, High School Musical or Camp Rock?
Wait, that's actually so insanely hard. I don't even know how to answer that. I would
Oh,
probably my initial instinct was to go High School Musical, but the more I think about it, I think it might be Camp Rock because, like, there's so many comedic elements from the first one, and I love the Jonas Brothers so much. I don't think I could see past them.
just from from what I'm learning, researching, all the like we're here.
Aligned? Yeah.
Yes, we are so aligned. Jonas Brothers. Yeah, I went to the opening night in New Jersey with my
Stop,
friends.
you went?
Oh yeah. I go with the
You
same
saw
group every
Demi.
time. It was oh yeah. Jesse McCartney,
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was there.
Switchfoot, like it I mean, every time it just took my breath away every time. I was like, wait, no, 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 this is actually happening.
Who are you a fan of?
Of the Jonas Brothers?
Of the brothers, yeah.
Okay, listen, I grew up a knit girl.
Same.
I think that that's fair. But like, we're gonna be serious as adults. Like, Joe's got to be
Joe,
his.
yes! If you're not a Joe girl at this point, like, I don't know what to tell you. You can become a Kevin girl even at this point, but,
True,
like,
true.
we gotta switch it up.
Yeah. No, no. I think like Joe has grown into his swagger a lot. A lot more. I don't know. There's something about it. I don't know.
Dude, I'm telling you that, man. And even in person, he's just, like, so dreamy. It's too much. I
Wait, have you
can't.
interviewed him?
Twice. It was the most insane thing of my entire life.
Okay, I think I vaguely remember this, but how was it?
Um, everything I could have expected. I the first time I interviewed him, it was for his movie Devotion, I believe was the name. This was a few years ago, maybe like 3 years ago, 4, when I first started getting into entertainment, and it was my second carpet ever. So I was like
Wow.
trembling. Um, I did everything in my power to be there. I got to interview him. I showed him this picture that I took with a photo of him from my first concert, which was the Jonas Brother concert. And he was like, "No way!" Smiled right away. Took another photo with me to recreate that moment.
Oh,
It was just perfect. And then I was able to interview him this time one on one when I worked. Well, now I'm working for SiriusXM for TikTok Radio, and my boss knows what a huge fan I am of the Jonas Brothers. So she messaged me one day and she was like, "Would you be able to fly out to New York? Joe's available for an interview. I know this would mean a ton to you." I flew myself out there, paid for the stay, made a whole business trip out of it.
gotta do
And
it.
yeah, every part of it was worth it. It was incredible.
Oh my gosh. So you would consider yourself an OG fan, no?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what year that was, but I saw them at Staples Center. I must have still been in middle school. So yeah,
Yeah.
diehard
Yeah.
Jonas Brother fan.
Yeah, I go with the same group that we've always gone with. So like from 14 years old to much bigger than that. I'm 32 now, but like yeah, every year we've
I
just and
love
we
that.
trade place or not trade places. We go to, one lives in New York, one lives in North Carolina, and I live in Atlanta, so we just kind of bounce around and
That is so
yeah,
cute.
it's
I
so
also
fun.
love how we like think of our friends from that era whenever something like this happens.
Mhm.
I sent the photos to my childhood best friend, and I was trying to go with her to a concert. I wasn't able to. She moved as well. But
Mm.
I'm planning on going with one of my friends, Hannah Kosh, if you're familiar with her, to see them when they perform in Anaheim. My fiance tried buying me tickets to go to their LA show, but I was out of town.
Okay.
but, like, cannot let a concert go by without
Yeah.
watching that.
You gotta go. Every tour, you gotta get to one. I
Yeah,
might even
tour.
go in Atlanta if the tickets drop enough because I spent way too
I
much
get that.
money to go in New Jersey, but that's okay.
The travel. You got to see the best
I
show,
know.
though.
I know. Like, to me, that it was all worth it for that. Like,
Yeah.
I when he said Demi, I mean, even before when people were talking about it online, right? There was the conversation, is she? Is she not? They followed each other again on social
Mhm.
media. And even then, it was still like, I don't know, y'all. And yeah, so for it to actually happen, that was crazy. But legitimately, almost like lost my mind when Jesse McCartney was announced because that might be my like original crush. Like, I
No,
can't,
I love that.
yeah, insane, insane.
Oh, it's
Okay,
so
so
good.
meme or GIF or whatever it's called.
I would say, probably GIF, whichever you wanna call it, but I like a little movement. I do like that TikTok allows you to comment with a meme now or with the
Yeah,
photo now. I think
yeah,
I would choose that over everything.
yeah. Because people are, the internet is so funny. Like, I will never leave. I
Truly.
simply, as a millennial, I'm like, we've really made this place. Well, first of all, yeah, we have made this place, but
Brick by brick.
brick by brick, meme by meme, like social media platform by social media platform. But
Mhm.
yeah. And I'm gonna ask you this because it was on my mind just recently, is like our generation, and I don't know if you are a millennial or zillennial or Gen Z, but is there's something to like millennials having this feeling of nostalgia. Like
For sure.
we crave nostalgia. And I think it's because we know of a simpler time than this, you know?
Ooh, maybe that is why. I've always wondered why we were like that. I'm in that 95 to 2000.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that was dangerous. My mic just randomly
Yeah.
fallen over. Ooh, that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in that forgotten generation as someone recently called it, and I was like, "That's a really good point." Um, I
Is that
think
what it's called? I thought
I don't know if it
I would consider that at youngest what, zillennial, but my sister's in that category and she considers herself a millennial.
Yeah, I'm considered a millennial, but I don't like growing up, this is such a stupid thing to say, I've realized because I just said this recently and I was like, I didn't know the difference between the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I still don't. Like I didn't grow up with like a lot of millennial lore, so I feel it's like a I get a
That's
little I know, which is stupid. It sounds dumb, but I literally like to me it wasn't necessarily my era that was like 3 years above me. And not to
okay.
say that that was a huge difference, but I grew up with Jesse McCartney and Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, kind of.
Yeah.
But then it was like Jonas Brothers, yes, locked in.
Yes.
And then I would say Gen Z like doesn't really relate to the Jonas Brothers. So it's like
Right.
this weird little forgotten generation. I don't know what else to call it.
Right. Okay. Well, so I'm so curious about that, but I do have questions that will, I think, kind of dial us in on
Yeah,
that because
sorry. I think you asked a question and I skipped over
no, no,
it.
no, no, no. I don't mean that. I just mean like I do want to dive into that, like what you were watching, what things in pop culture kind of have built your framework for kind of what
Yeah.
the work you do right now. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, I just think it's interesting. Like I find myself so nostalgic about so many things, the acts that I liked, the shows that I liked. And I just don't know that other generations feel that way or like that. And I really do
Yeah.
think millennials are sandwiched between these lives with social media and knowing how to use it, but also knowing life before. And I
Mhm,
think
mhm.
we kind of yearn for that simplicity still. Because now we're in the workforce. Right.
Right, right.
Take it
Who
back.
asked for this? I don't
Yeah.
want it. Get rid of it.
Take it back.
But
Yeah.
it's funny to think about though because like Gen Z to me feels like they're constantly going after nostalgia as well, and it's like nostalgia that they didn't even necessarily grow up with.
Yes.
You know, it's like
Yes.
they're the I saw this photo from my friend who is 25. He just turned 25 and he posted this photo with like himself and I want to say two girls in the photo. This photo could have been extracted from 1998 or from 2025 all of a sudden. I'm like, this is insane. It looks like the way that everyone dresses now is
Oh,
exactly the way that people used to dress not that long ago, less than
right.
20 or wait, less than 30. What year are we?
Yeah,
Less than 30
exactly.
years ago.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just interesting.
even so, I typically don't talk about it, but I work at a school and, like, the kids I see, the kids I coach, they dress the way I dressed in middle school. Like, "Girl, you think
Yeah.
you're, like you're really bringing it today, baby, you're not." Like, I look back at those pictures and I'm like, "Ugh, poor choices were made," and, like, you're making that today.
Right. It's so funny to look back on those photos though, where you're like, "This outfit is horrendous, disgusting."
Terrible.
Abercrombie& and Fitch, back when all they did was, like, brand their shirt with
Yeah,
just their name,
yeah.
or Hollister doing the same thing, and all of a sudden we thought we were cool with, like, a side bang.
Oh,
Truly so tragic, like, there was nothing unique about it, but kind of we're doing the same thing right now, so I don't know. Or not necessarily us, but
yes. Yep.
people today.
Just cycles, like but crazy to think, like, again, the clothes you wore in middle school are, like, coming back. I
Cool.
oh,
Skinny jeans are coming back, they just barely went
no.
out. What are you talking
No, no, no.
about?
Cannot. Can't do it. Won't do it. Over it. I can't go
I just
back.
don't want to. It's
Yeah.
too hot.
It's too hot, too restricted, like, no, we don't have time for it.
I
Okay.
think a lot of companies are taking the easy way out, though, I will say, like, when you look at Devil Wears Prada, Freakier Friday, I think there's a couple of other movies that are being remade or sequeled right now,
Yeah.
and it's like, it just feels like, where's the originality,
Yes.
you know?
Well, it might be, like you said, an easy route where you're not taking so much of a gamble. You know your audience is built into that first one. So
Yeah.
but I did enjoy Freakier Friday. I did enjoy that. Did you see
I
it?
haven't seen it yet, but everyone
Okay.
keeps saying it's good. It's,
Yeah.
like, very nostalgic.
Yes, but they do enough where it feels like a different story. I mean, same story, same plot. You get what I'm saying? But
Mm,
there's enough introduction to the characters and relating it back to the originals that I don't know. Again, it might have just kind of tickled that nostalgia for me, and that
yeah.
might have just been it. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I wouldn't say I really wanted to watch it the day it dropped. I was out of town, so I couldn't. Um, but it's one of those where once I missed it, I was like, "Okay, but when am I gonna go back to it?"
Yeah, right. And it's certainly not in theaters still.
I know, I doubt
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna have to, yeah, wait till streaming. Well,
Exactly.
yeah, I think it's gonna be on Woof.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually, you might just have to find it on DVD or well, not even. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, Love Island or The Bachelor?
Love Island. I haven't watched The Bachelor in years. I don't even know who's been on there. I don't know. I think there was someone named Maria that I want more
Yeah,
of the
she was
story.
crazy. Yeah, I remember that.
Was she? I think she's, like,
Yeah.
affiliated with Alex Cooper. She's on Unwell Network now or something. I could be
She was
making
a
this
she was a guest on there.
Okay,
She was.
maybe that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know the last season that I watched, though,
Well,
truly.
now
Love
everybody's
Island,
super
though.
excited.
Oh, yeah, I will say I am excited for,
Oh my gosh.
Taylor.
I can't. I can't.
You're not?
I just well, I didn't watch the show,
Oh,
The
okay.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, so I don't know her, don't know the brand, don't get it, but it doesn't excite me as a Bachelor fan.
Oh, you're an actual Bachelor fan. You
Oh,
watch
sorry, I
it
didn't say that,
every
yes.
season.
You don't know everything about
God.
me? I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah."
Well, it's so rare to meet a Bachelor fan lately, to be completely
I
honest. It's
know.
been a few years.
I've been locked in. I've been locked in since probably 2014. Same I used to watch the exact same group for, I mean, 10 years. I mean, it's
That is so cute,
crazy.
man.
I
I love
know.
that.
Ugh, my little suburban life. No, but yeah, I even through the ups and downs, even through their lack of diversity and all their
Mhm.
chaos, I take it for what it is, face value. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's gonna look the same, and that's gonna be okay. Like, we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna move forward.
Uh-huh.
But this is a bridge too far for me, and I'm so curious at who will be on the show. Like, who
Yeah.
because they just put the open casting call out. Like,
Oh,
you
so
know,
it
so
begins.
it clearly was not gonna be the typical contestant
Yeah.
who wanted to go in there. I don't know. I just find it interesting. I imagine a lot of people will turn out to watch it strictly because of who they chose, and I think that's why they did it.
Exactly. Yeah, I will say that as someone who used to watch every season of The Bachelor, completely stopped. I don't know the last year that I watched. This is the first season that I will be watching again. Even Golden Bachelor, I watched for like 1 or 2 episodes and then I was over it. So this one I plan on watching again. I'm curious as to how the diversity is going to look with this
Yep.
season too. Are they all going to be just like white Mormon dudes?
Right.
you know,
Right. Right.
I
Don't think it's
I
gonna
don't
help on
really.
that front.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very curious. But I think she makes great TV. Okay, but my mom brought up a really good point. She was like, this is kind of strange because she had domestic violence on her record.
That's what
And
I saw too.
we wouldn't encourage that if this was a guy who had domestic violence. I said, "Oh, fair point. You're
So
actually
fair.
so right."
And even
So,
again, people say that I don't know if it was expunged or the charges were dropped, which in most domestic abuse cases they usually are.
mhm,
You, they wouldn't get near that person,
right.
you know? Like I mean I think that's a very fair point. I will be interested to see if the real Bachelor fans if they stick around and watch it. I have a hard time
Mhm.
believing they will. Of course there's overlap, but I think that there are viewers like me who are like, "This doesn't seem that interesting." Because I think
Wow.
the Bachelor franchise is trying to Love Island itself. I mean, I
Mhm.
watched the Bachelor in Paradise this summer. Horrific, terrible television.
Oh,
Oh
really?
my god, the
Oh,
worst
no.
season they've ever had by far. Um,
Oh, that's so sad.
yeah, they moved locations. They put them in a resort. Like, it was such a weird dynamic. They brought the Goldens in, which they were the best part of the show. Um, they brought in, like, they have games all of a sudden, like Love Island, and so it got weird, and they're absolutely trying to make themselves a competitor of that, and I just think
Mhm.
you need to run your own race, but
Stay in your lane low key when it comes to these shows. It's like there's a reason why people decided to tune in and then they try to switch it up too much. Like you can't stay too much of the same, but you cannot switch it up too much either. You got to
yeah.
add something to it, which I think Love Island has done a good job over the years of like slowly incorporating one new thing here and there. But Bachelor does too much all at once sometimes and it's like, okay, it's aggressive.
Yeah, it was a complete overhaul, so 10 out of 10 don't recommend as of right now, but I will follow up. Okay, so Twitter or Threads?
Oh, I deleted my Twitter a
Girl.
long time ago.
I haven't deleted it, and it's only because, like, my icon I haven't updated it, so it still appears as Twitter on my phone,
Aw,
and
that's
some of
so
that is, like
nostalgic.
I know. Some of it's, like, just being stubborn,
Mhm.
because the minute that goes away, like, I'll be gone, but you get on there now, and it's just a bunch of bots anyway, so,
Yeah.
eh,
Mm-mm. I am on Threads. I have never been someone who's like crazy locked into any of those types of apps. Like I
yeah,
will go in spurs though with it where it's like I will post 20 threads in one day and then I won't touch the app for another week and I'm like, "Oh my god,
yeah.
I forgot."
I forgot
So,
about them over there.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like just posting words. It reminds me of when I used to write articles in college and like, oh,
I
it's a
feel
lot of
that.
work. Yeah,
Well, and I'm also like, do people really care what I just said? Do they care about
I
like, of course,
know.
if it's pop culture, like, sure. But these like 5 word thought I just had, like, no one
Yeah.
actually cares that
Okay,
much.
I think Threads is doing a better job with helping you helping other people to find your content though. That's
Yeah.
one thing I've noticed. And the way that they push it on Instagram even, do you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? How you can like scroll and
Yeah.
see people's threads? I
Mhm.
think they're at least doing a good job there.
Yeah.
So I'll occasionally have some threads blow up and I'm like, "Oh my god, I didn't expect that. I don't post on there enough." But they
Yeah.
try.
Yeah, no, I would like them to push and find my people a little better, because numbers are low, but
It's hard.
but yeah, no, like, I'm on WNBA threads, those sorts of things, like, easy to find your people, for sure.
Mhm.
Ok
I hear once you well, I mean, I'm familiar with it from when I worked at Overtime, but, like, if you dive into WNBA, I feel like it is just one of the most accepting communities that you could find.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There
we're struggling with that as of probably this summer. Things have gotten a little less accepting, but
really.
yeah, I we're not gonna get me on my soapbox, but there is a fan, like a fair weather fan of like Caitlin Clark's that comes into the game that brings a lot of their toxicity from either other sports or just in general.
Uh-huh.
That has made, I think, WNBA a little less inclusive,
Oh.
environment wise. Like, I
Uh-huh.
still think the principles of it all are the same. I think the fans who were there before are still there. I just think something about the last season and a half, probably, there's just a level of yuck that's happening that I'm not a big fan of, but, um,
Yeah, I
I
get
will always
exactly
be
what
a
you're
fan.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys who became fans of the WNBA through Caitlin Clark, or I guess like women's college basketball
Right.
first,
Yep.
and then followed her to the WNBA. They gave me the ick
Mhm.
because they like only follow the game for her, which is like fine, but then you have like that's fine if that's your entrance to the
Yeah.
league. But you should also, like, pay attention
For
to
sure.
more beyond her. I think she also has to do a better job of, like, making it known that the league was built on Black women's backs,
Yes.
and she's, like, not the only person who's ever dribbled a ball, but yeah, it's been interesting to watch. I think a lot of this has to do with why I kind of took a step back. Not necessarily the WNBA, but like at one point I took a step back from sports because of things like that, you know?
Mhm.
Being a woman in sports, in baseball, not as much in the NBA, but in the NFL, covering those sports would just give me the ick.
Yeah.
You like feel uncomfortable sometimes, or you feel a certain judgment that a man wouldn't feel,
Yep.
and it's, like, just an added stressor that I didn't care to be around.
Yeah. I feel like I know so many sideline reporters or just reporters in general who cover men's sports that is always something that's at the forefront of their decision making is how is a man going to perceive this, and are they
Mhm.
going to poke holes in the knowledge that I have? Are they going to question what I have to say here? And I don't really watch or ingest a lot of men's sports, but that is one reason I would not want to because I just feel like
Yeah.
it becomes the like, well, what were his stats from minute 3 of the game last year? And it was like, well, babe, no one cares.
It
So,
really was. It was really like that, and it's like, I'm already a naturally very anxious person.
okay.
But working in entertainment, you can kinda mess up. Like, you can
Mhm.
stumble on a name and not be criticized for years to come because of that one time that you stumbled on a name when it
Right.
was just your nerves getting to you and you just said the name wrong, you know?
Yeah.
But if I stumbled on a name when I was covering sports, it was like the end all be all. I
Right.
was in so much trouble. It was just so unnecessarily stressful at
Right.
all times.
Yeah, just like losing credibility based. Yeah, no, that's insane. And like I said, that's why I stay away from men's sports altogether. And I try to keep men out of my comments, frankly, because even when I talk about women's sports, all of a
Yes.
sudden here you are, you're an expert. It's like,
Oh
go
my
sit
god,
down.
so real. I remember when I officially started leaving sports, well, I was slowly, like, dwindling out. I went from overtime to this place called the Women's Sports Network, and so I basically, what I'm trying to say is when I was at overtime, I was constantly trying to grow a female base
Mhm.
viewership. Um, I had, like, 85% male followers, and I didn't want that because anytime
Ooh,
I would post about anything that
spooky.
actually yeah, it was spooky season over there. It was not fun. So I would like try to slowly post things that would get rid of the guys. And then I went to Women's Sports Network. And so that helped to get rid of some of them because they don't pay attention to women's sports for the most part.
No.
And then I went to entertainment and kept trying to get rid. So there was a long time where I was just stagnant.
Yeah.
Nothing happened because I was like losing followers every day, but it
Yeah.
was just the guys, and then gaining women followers. And I was like, thank God, though. It's getting so much better and
Right.
nicer in the comments.
More peace here. Huh.
Truly.
Yeah. Okay, we got a couple more on the this or that. So, book or a show?
Show. I don't read. I'm
I
so
don't know.
sorry. I'm not proud to say it. I feel so
Ticking
guilty.
another box. We're here. And
I so badly want to.
I hate to say it because you're like, sometimes there's like that meme where it's like, don't talk to people who don't read. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, I'm a smart person, but like, I'm not sitting down to read. I'm not doing it.
No, I will read articles. I will even read like .gov articles, but
Yeah.
sitting down and reading a book, it feels like a chore. I would
Yeah.
rather scrub my bathtub clean. Like
Okay.
anything.
I like audiobooks though in the car. Like there's enough downtime in there that I'm like, okay, I can't do literally anything else besides listen to music. So
I'm locked here for an hour. Yeah, I need to get better at that. So I respect that one.
yeah.
Gotta get on
Okay.
my Audible game.
Yeah. Or the Libby app. They should
Libby? I don't
sponsor
even
the
know what this is
podcast.
called.
Libby app, you get it through your local library. Well, it's an app. You get the app, you have a library card, you put the library card number in there, and you can get audiobooks, you can get Kindle books. Is that what are they called?
You know, I don't know. You got me. I was listening. I was like, yes, Kindle books.
Kindle
Sounds the same.
Makes sense. Yeah, and so free audiobooks, bang. You just check them out the same way
Wow.
you do at the library. Just don't go to the library.
Okay, I love that. I had no idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, I pretty much preach that to everyone I come in contact with who talks about a book. I'm like, Libya, you ever heard of it?
Good to know, because I was like, do people still use Audible? They use
Don't know.
Libby app.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Not in community with those people, honestly. Okay, magazines or podcasts, which I'm not even sure why I put those two together, but we're going old school versus new school, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. I do love a magazine, but definitely podcasts, because like I'm not actually gonna read a magazine. The only reason I would get it is for like the aesthetic of it. You know what I mean?
But
But definitely a
I
podcast.
miss the magazine. Like I miss
Yes.
that this is what they're telling you what to wear. Like there were no other places to do that. Like this is where you
Mm-hmm.
get that. I don't even know. What were they marketing to us as teenagers?
No, so true.
Yeah. Were
How
they
are they even
marketing
making
clothes?
money?
Right. Interesting. But yeah, like I miss that. That you could print something in the beginning of January and it's relevant. Like you couldn't do that today. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
irrelevant in 2 days.
I miss a good J14, a Teen Beat,
Yes.
all
And
of
a
those.
poster. A little
Yes,
poster
the
about a
posters. I had the Sprouse twins in my room. I had
oh,
the Jonas Brothers in my room.
yeah. Yep.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne. Classic. No,
Miss
that's good.
her.
Yes.
Melissa's doing well though. Just kidding.
Is that her name? Wait, what?
That's oh my god, do you know about her clone? This whole theory?
No. Oh,
Stop, you don't know?
okay. I kind of. That
Don't worry, I
there
don't
is
know all
a
that much.
conspiracy.
Yes, the conspiracy
Yes. Yes.
that she has a clone out there and she's got a microchip in her head or
Oh
something.
god.
I don't know. It's insane. I love the stuff that people come up with though.
Right. So many things in the world we could put that brain power toward, but yet here
Right.
we are.
Here they are just being Swifties.
Yeah. All right. Concert or TV show?
Ooh. Ooh. I guess concert, because it's all
Yeah.
about the moment. But that's a really hard decision. Yeah, I just love that like everyone shares the same memory from a concert, and
Yep.
it's like not that many people in the grand scheme of things get to go to that one concert with
Right.
you. So, yeah, those are always like I'm not going to look back and be like I wish I stayed home to watch that episode of Succession,
Yep.
you know? I'm going to be
Exactly.
like I'm so glad I went to that Jonas Brothers concert.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Okay, just getting to know you a little more. What were your top 3 TV stations that you watched growing up? I saw it on social media recently where people were like, "What were the 3 most used stations at your
T-
house?" And like for me, and they wanted you to rank them. So, like, for me, it was always Disney Channel was
Yeah.
number 1, which was 64 at my house, and then
Uh-huh.
63 was ABC no, 61 was ABC Family. So that probably would have been 2, and then Nickelodeon would have been my 3rd, which would have been
Uh-huh.
63. So
I like this question. Definitely Disney Channel. I watched Disney Channel, like, way later in life than I should have. I loved it. And then Nickelodeon was probably 2, but I didn't honestly, I might move them to 3. Whatever channel Degrassi was on, I
what was
remember
that station?
loving that stuff. I remember loving Degrassi.
Had no
But
business watching it, I'm sure. You were too
I
young.
know. Oh my god, I would change the channel the second my parents would walk near my room. I
Yeah.
would get in so much there was some crazy stuff going on that show.
Absolute like, when you look back at it as an adult, you're like, "I had no business
No,
being in
truly.
elementary school watching that."
Yeah,
That was
it was
crazy.
so juicy. I loved it. And you know what? Even kinda recently, maybe during the pandemic for all I know, I went back and I watched the more recent seasons because one of the girls from Ginny and Georgia, I wanna say, is from Degrassi, and I didn't realize that. Anyways, I
Okay.
was doing some research,
Yeah, yeah,
really.
getting to it.
I was like, "Oh my god, it's still crazy. This is just, like, their thing."
It's oh, like the new era, is that what you mean?
Sorry. The new
Oh.
era is still them doing some diabolical stuff that, like, we shouldn't be watching.
Oh, no. Like
But I
hardcore
like it.
Euphoria type thing? Because 'Cause I'm like,
Wait,
is it the
yes!
same, like, storylines? Like, I remember, sadly, like, school shootings, that was a big one, the
Yeah.
drugs, I don't know why JT got stabbed, but he got stabbed, like, those were
Mhm.
heavy topics for me to be ingesting at that time. And so
So
are those the
real.
same ones they're doing, or is it like, again, Euphoria where Euphoria for me as an adult was like, "Woo, excuse me."
That was a lot. Yeah, it was like Degrassi now is like soft Euphoria to me. 'Cause
Wow.
Euphoria isn't like, that is one of the craziest shows you will ever watch.
Yeah. I only watched
It
the premiere. I was like, "This is
You couldn't
not
get past
something."
it or what?
It's it's so dark. I couldn't get past
Yeah.
1. And I was like, "This." I'm an emotional watcher where
Mm.
I carry the thing, and I don't know if there's a scientific term for it, but, like, the Titanic, I will talk about it for 3 days after to any person I see, and I'm like, "How sad that a couple would die like this." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just I don't know. Things are heavy for me at times, and so
I get
just
that. You're an
not me.
empath.
Yeah, but people say that's, like, not real. But yes, I would categorize myself there. I absolutely would be.
Yeah, Euphoria, I do remember I needed to take, like, at least the rest of the night to heal from it, just because those were some heavy topics, and we truly haven't watched a show that was that heavy since we watched Degrassi probably.
Yeah,
That's a really good comparison.
yeah. When you say heal from it, what does that mean the rest of the day? Which I always forget, like, y'all see things so much earlier than we do in the
Oh,
day
yeah, that's true.
because 'cause we're like
Yeah.
8 o'clock is our premiere time, and
Uh-huh.
for y'all, it's the early evening.
Yeah, it was a little I remember it being light out at times, but I remember literally just sitting in bed. That was another one that people would live watch together and then, like, immediately post TikTok
Okay.
videos, like, recapping, and I think I would post those, and I do remember yeah, because it was kinda like Love Island at the time where everyone was tuning in at the same time with Euphoria, which we need a show like that again. I guess it
Yeah.
kinda was The Summer I Turned Pretty, but anyways, back to the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Um, me going on 12 tangents. I just remember scrolling, like doom scrolling after the episode
Okay.
because I was like, I actually don't have the brain capacity for anything else at this point because
Yeah.
it was so much.
Oh, I'm a person, I'll just, like, put on a very, like, mindless, happy show. Like, I would turn on The Golden Girls.
Oh.
Why not?
Oh. That's
Like
better. I
like
like that.
try it. The Golden Girls are
Yeah.
always the answer. Okay, what is your favorite show of all time?
Oh god. I don't know if I've ever had an answer for this. What My comfort show is
Yeah, I
New
think that's
Girl.
okay, that's probably it then.
Yeah, but I would say I didn't even finish, like, the last couple seasons. I would it started getting a little weird at one point, but, like, first 4 seasons of New Girl, solid. I put that on anytime I watch, like, a horror movie that I need to get over, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Friends is definitely the go-to, I would
Okay.
say.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you just dropped or you just launched, your new show
Mhm.
Plus One, and
Yes.
you're having guests on to talk about well, guests from entertainment and
Uh-huh,
sports and across the industry, and you're
uh-huh.
diving in because 'cause you're curious about them and their lives. What kinda prompted that? Because again, I feel a lot of crossover in that, like, I'm just curious about process and things like that about people, and I wonder if that's kind of where this came from.
So, I've been wanting to have my own show for years. There were a few different reasons as to why I had to put it off for a little while, but once I received the approval, I began planning at the start of this year. I basically met with my manager and I was like, I really want to launch my own show, but I'm struggling to figure out what would make my show different in comparison to anything else that's already out there. And I try to not just put things out there that have already been put out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, as of right now, it's called Plus One. I have entertainment professionals on, and the whole concept is to kind of follow that person around and learn a little bit more about the behind the scenes of their day, whether it's like them on set or I just had a stylist on who was telling me some BTS of himself working with Jenna Ortega for like the Met Gala and the Emmys and just all this stuff that we wouldn't know on paper. We wouldn't know if we go to their Instagram and see exactly what she wore, but he gets to tell us that when he sits down. The end game of the show would be for me to be able to go with them actually on set or when Enrique Melendez is styling Jenna Ortega. That I just think would be not just like visually appealing, but so fun for the viewer because so many people think a lot of these jobs are really easy. It's not to say that these are the hardest jobs by any means, but there's a lot that goes into it. And I just think it would be really eye opening.
I love that, and I have that same aspiration because during the pandemic, I was watching a lot of, like, Much Music Live, like, just random things on YouTube. You know, you were just falling down rabbit holes
Rabbit holes,
then,
yeah.
and when reporters used to when you didn't have access to these people on social media, they would go follow them at a concert stop. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they would
yeah.
be backstage and say, "Hey, NSYNC, what do you do?" First of all, we do need to circle back to the fact that you don't know who they are, but, um, NSYNC, what do you do to prepare for the show? Like, is this typically how you do it? You play games right here, and you would just have a camera, and you would have your mic, and you would be there, and you get like, to me, that type of behind the scenes is, like, what I've always loved and been curious about, is, like, the in-depth what is the process from you getting here to there? Because,
Mhm.
obviously, like, everybody has their own routine, and everybody has their own when you used to see, like, Beyoncé, how did Beyoncé write this album? It's like,
Yeah.
those type of insights are things that I've always, always loved. Like, behind the music, we don't have anything
Yeah.
like that anymore.
Mhm.
Um
Exactly. I think there's for me, whenever people have asked me who my favorite athlete was or who I like my dream interview would be, favorite musicians, whoever it might be, uh, my answer has always been the person that I feel the most drawn to because of who they are off the field,
Yep,
backstage, like not necessarily, oh, the best vocalist.
right.
It's it has so much more to do with who they are when they're prepping for those moments. So I think this is just becoming like the best way for me to get to know more about them and then therefore our audiences to learn more about them as well.
Yeah, I think that there will eventually be a lane for this type of storytelling the where people aren't just considering it what you post on social media is a story you're telling,
Mhm.
where there are creators or networks that come in and kind of give insight to things that they otherwise wouldn't have access to or just in a different perspective than you would show it on social media. Um,
Mhm.
well, I look forward to many other episodes. What is the philosophy that you kind of bring into your content, your work? Like, what is kind of the mission statement for you?
I like to say that I'm an entertainment host with a fangirl mindset.
I
So
love that.
for me, I am not necessarily trying to change the world, although there are moments where I post about things that are bigger than just entertainment news. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm not afraid to dive into those conversations. I was for a while,
Yeah.
but then you reach a point where you realize so many of these conversations are tied in together. But at the end of the day, I think the reason why I have gotten the jobs that I've had in the past and have had success in this industry is because I grew up being such a big fan of these people. And I know questions that young fans would want answered because I have the exact same mindset
Yeah.
as them. And growing up, I just like always felt I've personally felt very out of place, and I think a lot of people felt that same way. So we connected with the entertainment space because it was like, what else do we have to do potentially, you know? So I just dove into that, and luckily I've been able to find a lot of other people who resonate with that, who also dove into the entertainment space, and I just try to get those types of people the answers that they want.
I no, I think that's a great perspective and a great mission when you're out there. It's like, what the people who are consuming this, like, what do they wanna know? I think that's a great way to approach it. You always seem so prepared in your
Oh,
interviews, kind of, providing insightful questions or questions that people don't typically get asked. What is kind of your process
thank
for
you.
that?
I I'm a Virgo. I do a lot of work behind the scenes, and I always feel like I'm not fully prepared,
Mhm.
which is just that's me always feeling like I could do more, but that doesn't mean that I'm not doing a ton. Like I am constantly studying for whoever I have on my own show or if it's on TikTok radio, wherever else. But I love the research process, and I have started reaching that high when you ask someone a question and then you hear them say, "Oh, that's a really good question."
Yeah.
Or just like seeing it on their face when they're like, "Oh, how did you know that?" Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then actually my first interview at TikTok radio was with this girl, Jax, and, I don't know if you heard her song on TikTok, but it was like Victoria's Secret was the
Mhm.
song,
Yep.
and I ran into her at a variety event maybe a year or 2 later, and she was like, "Oh my god, you were one of my favorite interviewers ever because you actually asked questions that I wanna answer." And so I think when you're familiar with this, but when you're someone who interviews people, you have a lot of boxes to check because you have to make sure that you're satisfying the person that you're interviewing. You have to make sure that you're satisfying the fans and asking questions that they would care about. Then there's also the publicist or the people behind the scenes with the person you're interviewing. There's your own boss if you have a boss. There's a lot of boxes to check, but at the end of the day, my main thing is to make sure who I'm interviewing feels comfortable and that they feel appreciated and that they don't think that I'm just looking at them like a number, you know?
Yeah. Who are those people that you kinda look to who do that really well? Like, who would you put on your broadcasting Mount Rushmore?
Kevin McCarthy is number 1 at all times.
Great
I
questions, very in-depth
God,
questions.
so in depth. I am like constantly just in awe of him, and I love scrolling through his Instagram and TikTok, whatever else. He's definitely up there. I would say when I first got into reporting in any way, Alana Rizzo was at the top of mind. She was the Dodgers sideline reporter and she was bilingual. And I am half Mexican. I'm trying to learn Spanish because the ultimate goal for me would be to be able to communicate with people in Spanish and ask them questions because I feel bad that like so many Latin artists have to learn English in order to like get their music to reach a broader
Yeah.
audience. I think like, it would be cool for us to make the effort both ways, you know what I mean?
Right.
Us just being anyone who listens to their music who doesn't fully speak Spanish. Like, it's not just on them, it's also on us. So, whatever. Throw her on there. God, who else? I don't know. Who's on yours?
Well, when you said Kevin, I thought about Sean from Hot Ones. No,
He's
he's not
great.
my I wouldn't
Ooh,
say he's on my Mount Rushmore, but in that same
that's a
vein,
good one,
he's
though.
always prepared. He asks questions that they're not typical, they aren't used to or PR trained for, and I think that just shows a level of professionalism and sets him apart from a lot of people because they always
No,
seem to
that's a
like
really good
the
one.
question. But for me, I would
Mhm.
say so my mentor, LaChina Robinson, she's up there for me in the sports.
Oh.
Um, Oprah, like,
Yeah,
that's my girl. Love that. Um, for a long time, Robin Roberts was that, I think, for me, because she went
that's
from
a good
the
one.
sports to the pop culture side.
Mhm.
Trying to think, reporter wise. Trying to think of like the most recent red carpet. Who's been on it? I think Zuri Hall's really
I know.
good. I think she's so good. I
Yeah,
think she's
yeah.
prepared. I think,
ET does it really well with everyone that they
yeah.
hire. I mean, I just had, Denny Directo on, who works for Entertainment Tonight, and he's just, like, such a good dude. I love watching his interviews because he, like, brings the light out in people, and that's kind of the style that I hope to also emulate is just I've always seen myself as being a bubbly person. For a minute there, I feel like people hated on that style, you know, like with
Mhm.
Gen Z, they're very like straight faced. They don't really try to make people laugh. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes they do, whatever. But I like those people who are like really smiley and try to make you happier. So I would throw him on there. This is kind of a fun conversation, to be
Yeah.
honest.
No, I feel like sometimes I, like, kinda geek out about the whole, like, broadcasting aspect of it. Like, to me, people thinking on their feet and just being able to, kill time and throw to someone else on the carpet. Like, to me, red carpet, like, live reporting, such a specific skill set,
Yeah.
and, everybody's been harping on, like, should influencers be on the carpet, and should it be trained hosts and all that, and they're gonna always have that issue if they can't do those tasks I just talked about. Like, if the influencer
Yeah.
can't throw to someone or think of another question to ask someone before they throw it back because 'cause they're trying to kill more time, like, those are very specific skill sets that you people train for, right? So,
Yeah.
I
I
respect.
don't think they all belong on a carpet, to
Right,
be
they do
completely
not all.
honest.
They do
Like
not all.
and I think anyone who says otherwise hasn't ever worked in this space,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Well, I think of, like, Drew Afualo, like, I think she went to school for this.
Mhm.
But again, she's not hosting a red carpet, right? Like, she's there, those are clips, right? A lot of
Yeah.
what most of us do is clips. So live TV, totally just like a totally different thing. A lot of people don't have experience in doing. Um, I think of even Teffy.
Yeah.
She's
She's
great
my
talking to
favorite.
people. I think she's really good at what she does, but you couldn't throw her on an e-broadcast right now, I don't think.
She did host, the Victoria's Secret fashion show
Okay.
with which was on Amazon, I believe, and that was live. Um, but who knows in the grand scheme of things, sometimes things are not actually live, it's just live to tape.
True. Yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, I that was, I think, one of my first times of seeing her run through all those motions because I had wondered the same thing.
Yeah.
But personally, I think Drew and Teffy are some of the only people who actually have been able to go from being creator to
Yeah.
host, you know, and they're I think
Love
those
it.
are great examples.
Yeah.
Not everyone can do it, and people do have to keep in mind that they are different skill sets.
Yeah. Amelia, what's her name? Amelia
De
who does,
Moldenberg.
yeah, like, I think she's really good for TV, like, I think you could plug and play that, and, of course, hers are clips, that's where she's kinda been, and or, like, live on TikTok, that sorta thing, but I do think
You know
it
who else?
who?
Kiki Palmer.
Oh my gosh, such a natural, but, of course, we know she's done so much work from such a young age,
Yeah.
but, like, skilled.
She's
So
so good. She's like one of the only celebrities where I actually enjoy her going from one field to the next, going from
yes.
acting to I feel like she's also a singer.
Yeah.
she
When she
she
wants
kind
to
of
be.
is. Yeah. To hosting, I'm like, "Okay, yes, you I respect and you do a great job at everything that you set your mind to."
Right. She needs her show because she used to have a show, I think it was a Kiki Palmer show. Like, she used to have a
Uh-huh.
show. She tried to do it with, young people around her age, sort of a TRL feel. I don't know. I think something like that could work. Not a TRL feel, but more think daytime TV, the Kelly Clarkson, which I think Kelly Clarkson, when she started, she was not very good at live TV. When she started her show, I thought she struggled.
Really?
And I think now
Mm.
she's so much more comfortable, which again, when you put 10,000 hours into anything, you're going to get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I miss that element of like daytime TV too. Cause again, it's like, of course it's a show, but there's a pageantry about it. That's why I love red carpets. It's like, it just feels like
Ugh.
we're all getting together. We're all watching these interviews, seeing the clothes. They're heading into a night of a theatrical show. Like, there's just something
Yeah.
about that that's so
All
exciting
the
to me.
glitz and the glamour, yeah, I love it. That's why the Met Gala, oh, I love everything about it. I'm sure it's so insanely stressful. That's one carpet I haven't been able to cover up front, um, but it is so fun to watch. The Met Gala carpet, the Oscars, and then the Vanity Fair after party. Those are, like, my
Mm.
top 3.
Well, you did the Grammys though, right?
I did do the
You
Grammys,
wouldn't put
yes.
that up there? No?
I would just say yes, but for some reason, I also wanna tune into the show for the Grammys, and
Mm.
those other carpets feel like their own show. The
Okay.
Grammys carpet just feels a little less like, um it's massive when you're there, it's a huge deal, obviously, but as a viewer, I'm not necessarily locked in the way I am for the rest of those carpets for some reason.
Mm.
Do
Okay.
you not agree?
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, anytime there's a red carpet, I'm tuned in. So I don't know,
Yeah,
but
same.
maybe it's because I have more familiarity with the artists than I do the actors. Like, the
Mm.
actors at the Oscars, I'm not watching half of those movies that are up for awards.
Ooh.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because half of them are so like, "How'd you get here?"
Too artsy for me.
Yeah.
Probably too heavy for me. But yeah, the artists, like, I know who they are, even if I don't listen to their music. Like Bad Bunny, I don't personally listen to his music. I've never listened
Mm.
to an album top to bottom, but,
Oof.
like, I wanna know what he says, and I wanna know
Yeah.
what he wore,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm sure he's insightful, and I care to know what he has to say, but not necessarily, again, an actor from a movie that I'm never gonna lay eyes on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just view the certain carpets as, like, an event, the Met Gala is, like,
Yeah.
such an event. It's definitely the
The
biggest
carpet is the
carpet of the
thing.
year. Yeah, the
Yeah,
the carpet's the only thing we care about,
right.
truly.
Yeah,
We find out the theme, and then we're like, "Okay, I'm just excited to see
right,
what everyone looks like,
for
who
sure.
attends." I don't care about the art quite as much as we possibly should.
You know what feels, especially in 2025, because I do think the pageantry of it was better than it has been in recent years. The VMAs used to be my red carpet. The VMAs
Mhm.
really used to be that for me, like, "Oh, it's a night of people I know, there's music acts that I wanna see," and so growing up, I would say that would have ranked at the top of mine, over Grammys, over Oscars, over Tonys, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one that I was really excited to I mean, the Grammys were, like, coolest thing I ever could have done, praying to God that I get to do it again. Uh, VMAs were sick for a different reason. It was like, VMAs were sick, Grammys are, like, elite,
Yeah, yeah.
top dog, so glamorous. The VMAs are just cool. You get there
Yeah.
and then again you start thinking about the nostalgia and everything that's happened at the VMAs over the years and the Britney and the Christina Aguilera and a lot of crazy moments that have gone down. Um I did love that carpet. The way they shaped the carpet this year was really interesting. I don't know if that's typical. I've only ever covered this year, but the shape of it was interesting for someone who was covering as press. I wasn't able to see
Mm,
everyone as they entered.
okay.
So I can only imagine what it was probably so fun to watch from home, though.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, even with sports for me, I love the pageantry of TV too. Like
Mm,
the production, the way that they're framing this event. Sometimes I'm just like, I'd rather be at home. Even basketball games, like the
mhm.
Final Four, sometimes it's just better to be at home and listening to the broadcast
Right, right.
to see how they put it together. Okay, Jess. Well, we've actually gone over time, and I appreciate you being here. I feel like we could have kept going. I had
Oh.
so many more questions for you, had a
I'm
headline
sorry,
for
I
you,
probably
but I just
Ooh,
feel
I'm
like
so sorry.
no, no, no. I just feel like we're two yappers that enjoy TV and all the pop culture topics. So I feel
That'll
like
do it.
yeah, and I also feel like I got to know you a lot better because that's what the show is about, being genuinely curious about these guests. What is one thing that you are genuinely curious about today, or at least maybe recently?
Hmm.
Like something that you, again, when you're growing up and you're just like doing deep dives, when you used to like just be a fangirl, like what are you fangirling and super curious about right now?
Yeah. I'm super curious about the Cyrus family and if Miley Cyrus is going to ever go back on tour because she's my number 1. She is the one person I'm dying to interview at some point in this life,
Mhm.
and I would pay top dollar to see her perform in person. But yeah, I'm just genuinely curious to see if she ever goes back on tour or if she shows up as a surprise guest with the Jonas Brothers.
Girl, I just don't know if I don't think it's gonna
I
happen.
don't think so either.
I don't think it'll happen. That would be epic though. It would be. Or she shows
It'd
up
be
as Hannah.
crazy. Oh my god,
I
stop.
think
That'd be
that's the tip of the iceberg.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. For the
Could you
anniversary,
imagine?
maybe she might pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed, man. I don't have high hopes for
I
it,
know.
but like I don't have high expectations for it. I
Right.
have high hopes for it. Let me
Yes.
say that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. Hopefully it's not the last time because again, I got so many other things to ask. But I feel
I
like
know.
a kindred sisters based on this like pop
Yes.
culture overlap, all these things that kind of fall in the same category. But good luck with your
Yeah, thank
show and
you.
um,
Oh,
so excited that you were able to join me today.
thanks so much for having me. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I feel like there's so much more that we could have talked about. So maybe in the future I'll come back on.
Yeah.